Remember that clip of what was it? What was that guy's name? The current affair.
Mm.
He ended up on Fox. Come on.
I want to say Mario Povich, but
No,
that's
no,
not
no, no, no.
current affair.
He had that biggest show on Fox, and then something went down, and then he got fired.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly.
O'Reilly, remember? Do you remember that clip where he went nuts?
Yeah.
And he's like, "We're doing it."
Shit.
Yeah.
Starts yelling
He's
on
all-
camera.
He's all, "We're doing it live. F it."
Evan.
And he's like, "We're doing it." And then he still screws it up, right? And then he finally gets through it, and then he's like, and then the camera's panning out, and he's just like,
Yeah, it's like
ah.
ties all over the place.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Love that.
Welcome back to Founder Chat. Son of VB.
Son of VB.
What's going on, man?
Wow, we can laugh now. We can laugh now.
Yeah, we weren't laughing on Friday, that's
no
for sure.
way. Or Saturday or most of Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. In fact, Sunday morning at church, it was like, hey, is that it? You know, we have a friend who's a banker.
Yeah.
He's like,
what's going on?
Yeah, like, you know,
watching the news?
Yeah, he's kind of like, these are your scenarios, you know. And so I did not see that bailout coming that fast. Like, you know, as soon as I got home, he's calling me. He's like, hey, did you hear the news? I'm like, no. He's like, it just happened. So just hit the wire. You're fine. You can, you know, relax a little bit, not too much, but a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty frightening. But for all our viewers who may not have been paying as much attention, we had Silicon Valley Bank, which is an institution for Silicon Valley startups and venture capitalists, went kaput this weekend or Friday.
Yep.
The FDIC came in and shut them down, stopped all activity.
Yeah, you're done.
You're done. Step away.
Mm-hmm.
And the big deal was obviously is that, you know, banks have been stopped for other reasons before. But what was interesting about Silicon Valley Bank was 97% of their deposits were over the $250,000 limit of FDIC insurance. So that means that all those people with all those deposits could lose it all up into other than $250,000. But it was really frightening because a lot of startups and a lot of venture capitalists store their money at SVB.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think of it this way as like, you know, most people are like, oh, well, you should have that money in the market, blah, blah, blah. Well, it is going into the market. That's what investments, that's what those startups are, is they are investments. So rather than buying stock in the Nasdaq or whatever, they're buying stock in companies directly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a unique bank in that way. And so when they said that they were going under, it was frightening because I would say, I think we estimate probably all, if not most, if not all
of our clients
have an SVB account and rely on that bank on some level, including ourselves. We've had an account. We've had a couple accounts at SVB.
Yep.
And so anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we're staring at this thing literally as an agency.
Yes.
Saying, well, it's only a matter of time before this trickles down to us.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. These companies are worried about payroll,
yes.
right?
Yeah, they got to pay their people.
Yeah.
First and foremost, and then cover their liabilities a little bit, and then they'll like, okay, let's get our vendors paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we kind of knew we were going to be, you know, put on the lower on that list. In fact, we even emailed our clients on Monday mornings, kind of basically saying, you know, we understand, like, get your stuff in order.
Yeah,
we can. We're here. It's temporary. We know.
Sure.
And so I think what we really kind of felt like was going to happen was that these banks weren't going to have the money, and, you know, it's just going to be a whole mess for probably months, you know. And what's crazy is, like, I mean, we've gone all in on startups. Like, we've said, this is it. And, you know, they talk about diversification.
Not for us.
Not for us. I mean, I think we still have a UCLA project that we can that's still
legacy?
out there, a legacy thing. We
Legacy.
have we have a client that does construction. They don't take venture capital, but beyond that, like everyone else is very venture backed and
100%.
so very exposed to this. So
Yeah.
Anyway, bullet dodged. Hopefully we can learn and
I mean, you'll see here
be a little
this
wiser.
news came out March 12th, so Sunday afternoon.
People were losing their minds though. I mean,
and I think for us, for almost everybody across the board there, the sentiment was good for stepping in.
Yes.
I think there hasn't been a whole lot of polarization on this. It's because they're letting the bank kind of fail, right?
Right. There is a whole lot of buzz going on. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, well, the Fed's banking, they're bailing out more banks again. We've been here before."
Yeah.
But what is different is that Silicon Valley Bank will be liquidated.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that's as far as I understand it. So unless someone comes in to buy it, they're bankrupt.
Did you see the Elon?
Yes. Did he say he was interested?
Somebody tweeted at him.
Yeah, to see if he would do it.
Twitter should buy it, and
honestly,
then make Twitter the bank, or I don't know, something like that. And he said, he responded and said something like, "No, sounds interesting," or And then one of his Tesla investors said, "Knock it off!
Don't you dare!
Don't even."
But here's the thing: like, I could see. I mean, look at Google, for instance, or Apple. They're sitting on trillions of dollars, cash money. I could, and they owe a lot to the venture capital scene in that way. There's a part of me that's just like, man, there's enough money rolling around there looking for something to do, that pooling that or something like that to get a Silicon Valley type bank that is venture friendly.
Yep.
That's the biggest concern, I think, now, is filling those shoes, because I keep saying this, but like, I don't think Chase understands SaaS startups effectively. And so there's a concern that getting financing or getting the kind of accounts that Silicon Valley Bank was willing to give will be harder to get through Wells Fargo, right? Which, this isn't a mortgage, this is these are SaaS products that, like we were saying, 5 people can be running a $50 million company out of from home.
Yeah.
And in the eyes of most conventional banks, doesn't make any sense. There's no formula for that. But Silicon Valley Bank does have that. So anyway, enough of that.
Yeah, and a good alternative, just so I'm sure people know what they're doing out there.
Yeah.
Mercury has been good for us.
Yes.
We've opened now our second account with them. And if you're an SVB customer, or you even just mention SVB, they'll like fast track it.
Yeah.
Like 24 hours or less.
Yeah.
You'll be up and running.
Yeah.
It's a virtual bank. And I think there might be insured up to 3 million, if I'm not mistaken. Wow. So they have they launched a different product. I think they might have even done that over the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, it is a different sort of bank. And they can, and I remember SVB too. Like, you couldn't get a mortgage at SVB. Like, it wasn't like a normal bank.
No.
Like, they were very specific about the kind of business they would do. And so, so it makes a lot of sense. They can actually probably deny a lot of businesses and be like, you're not remotely what we're interested in. So, move on. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on that whole thing.
Yeah.
Big news today. GPT-4.
GPT-4.
Yep.
How many billion things of it? I saw something about how the data set is just massive.
Crazy.
Compared to GPT-3. Now, what do you know about it? I haven't really.
I'm just looking at tweets from people talking about it. Nothing. I haven't seen anything specific that that I can point to. That's crazy.
Do you know I went to school with the guy who made the OpenAI logo.
No kidding.
Yeah, I just found out the other day. His name's Ben Berry.
Shout out
to Ben Berry. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Hell of a designer.
Yeah, I mean it's all the rave right now. I haven't.
See, this is what's so crazy is, and of course my parents called me this weekend. You know, they watch cable news a lot, and they were like, "What is happening?" You know?
Yeah.
And I had to tell them, I was like, "Look, even if this is bad news, even if the bottom's going to fall out," I said the truth of it is that we're right now in one of the hottest times in tech in the last 5 years, almost 10 years. I feel like it's going to eclipse whatever I think crypto was doing, and I think whatever the meta buzz was trying to do and Facebook was trying to do. This is just going to eclipse all of it because it has so much utility, right? I think that, we probably talked about this before, but a lot of the times things like the metaverse and crypto were sort of solutions looking for a problem, right? It's like, we have this great technology. What do we do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And, blockchain gave rise to crypto. Crypto gave rise to, first it was sort of the black market. It was sort of like, okay, great, we can use this as a black market trading tool. Then it became a way to like create hedges and almost sell like, well, then it was the ICOs, right?
Right.
Tried to find use as an ICO, and then it became like altcoins, and everyone's trading altcoins, and each of these things, and then NFTs. So you can see like there's this sort of like every 6 months or a year, there's a sort of like another use for blockchain that is trying to find its like big moment. And these are all useful things, but they're not hitting, I think, at the level that AI is going to hit. It's just going to be ubiquitous. And you're saying today that Google's now pushing out.
Yeah. Look at this. Ben Parr actually posted this 30 minutes ago. So perfect timing. Did all the AI companies come together in secret and decide to announce all their new products on the same day?
Well, they didn't want to announce
trying
it
to get
Friday.
in the news before another financial crisis takes over the cycle. So the Google one I was talking about is the generative AI.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a part of the Google Workspace. Wow. So imagine having AI in Gmail, Slides, Docs, Sheets, all of it. And then of course GPT-4,
I want
right?
it for Google Home.
you want the AI to know and
what I'm asking it
for
once.
Yeah, for once it's just like do the thing.
Yeah,
right?
Do the thing, and if you can't figure it out for me, instead of being like, go to the Google app and Google Home app and blah blah blah. No, you do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this stuff in detail, but man,
so
I did see some screenshots on Twitter of what
this is what the tech world needed.
Look at this. This is
like fucking.
This is like
Christmas.
What's that tool you use? Writer,
yeah.
Right. So this is like basically Writer inside of Google Docs, right?
It's going to be very interesting. So a little secret about all these tools is they all have limits. So there's AI in Notion, there's writer.com. All these companies are sort of integrating it, but they all cap it. And I actually hit the limit on Writer last month.
Did you?
My AI credits. I asked it to write too much. And it said it was done. And what was crazy is I even reached out to their support and I was like, well, how do I do this? How do I add more? And they're like, you can't, like, we haven't figured that out yet. Like, I was like, really?
Whoa.
So like this was so new that they hadn't figured out like how to do overages.
Dang.
And so, but they all have this cap, and I'm curious to see what Google's going to do.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be
wild, man.
Google isn't in the business of nickel and diming, really.
No. Well, check this out. This is GPT-4.
Oh, shoot.
You can upload an image.
Shut your face.
What is unusual about this image? You could ask the AI, right? The unusual thing about this image is that a man is ironing clothes on an ironing board attached to the roof of a moving taxi. But the fact that it figured that out.
It knows.
It's crazy.
Right. It can solve that problem.
Now, what's the use for that? We don't know yet, but.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I noticed. So I was doing some stock searching this weekend for stock images.
Yeah.
And I want to say Shutterstock has like this new like AI option, which to me, I'm like, thank God. Like their stock footage and stock imagery is the worst. Like that's
terrible.
Like, it's terrible, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I can see that industry getting completely, you know, messed up or made better by this, or, you know, completely taken under. But anyway, that's really exciting. That's what we need. That's what everyone needs to understand, is that like the world of tech is not stopping.
No,
and
not at all.
We'll be resilient. So we'll have a,
yeah, and we're like, even here internally, like at the agency, we're using it for like writing blogs, like nothing crazy, right?
No,
but it's the fact that we're able to.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pumping out content now more regularly.
Yeah.
It almost feels like we have an assistant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
right?
what it
Because
feels
there's certain things you don't need to do yourself.
No.
And I feel like some of that, just, you know what I mean? Like we would have hired a writer anyway, or had one of our writers do it.
Yeah.
And so Chat GPT does it for us. We tweak it. We tell it to, you know, edit itself or change the way it's explaining something.
Yeah.
And then we use Midjourney.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. We're working on Midjourney for a website right now, which
that's going to be fun.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
So for
not for designing the site, but for some of the
imagery,
elements of
and stuff like that
versus stock.
And it's for a quantum computing company. So imagine that. It's sort of like, it's pretty meta, you know?
Yeah. Which, by the way, didn't Meta just announce 10,000 layoffs or something?
Oh, 10,000 really?
people or something like that.
I've heard some rumors about the efficiencies at Meta and how people are just like, there's nothing coming out. I still, from time to time, will put on my Oculus just to see if there's anything really new there.
There isn't.
And there really isn't. Although they have there's a cool app in there I played with the other day that lets you draw shapes and stuff. And it does that pass through thing. So you can actually draw them like, and it looks like they're floating in your room.
Yeah.
But you know, that pass through is like black and white and really bitmapped and stuff. But it's still a cool effect. So maybe that Oculus, is it Pro or what is it? Or Quest VR Pro or something is worth something. I don't know.
Dude, check this out. So here's a screenshot of.
Oh, look at this.
Convert my meeting notes. Imagine that. I'm feeling lucky.
Oh, they got the I'm feeling lucky in there. Bulletize, shorten, elaborate, formalize.
I mean, that could be very valuable.
Yeah.
Help me write.
Is it for workspace? Or could you have, because we're paying customers, right?
Yeah. Job post for a regional sales rep.
Oh shoot, dude, I've done this.
Oh, look at that right inside of Docs.
Man, that's gonna mess people up,
bro. Well, here's the thing too: is it like this writer thing is so powerful and cool, and you're like, that's $1 billion company. Well, what does this do to a company like that?
I know, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah,
it's just a killer.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's
a killer because it's already included. Like,
how many people already have this?
Yeah.
And Google's like, for what you
look at that for
it's
mobile,
pretty cheap.
Oh,
and you know, it'll probably be for everybody on your team, you know, so everyone will be able to use this.
I mean, we've been talking about austerity for the last couple of months. I mean, we stopped talking and we just switched to Google Meet.
Yeah, we did,
because we were already paying for Workspace.
Why pay for Zoom on
and
top
we said,
of
why
it?
pay for Zoom?
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of this is going to be happening too.
Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen, you know, one thing that Writer sort of advertises is you can sort of create a company voice. So that could, I think for enterprise, it'll still be pretty valuable.
Yeah.
You know, but it would have to be at that scale. I don't think we would benefit from that.
No, not us.
It's too.
I could see that in the enterprise scale or whatever, for sure.
Or maybe they'll have different points of view, or you know what I mean, different nuances.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting.
Cool. Well, get
stuff.
Your money, put it somewhere safe.
Yes.
Go check out these new AI tools. I feel like this AI thing's been around for so long, and it just like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like NFTs, right? Like, they were a thing since 2017, whatever it is, and all of a sudden, 2019, 2020, it was.
They had their day. Like,
had their day.
Yeah. I don't know what happened with AI.
Blockchain's next, man. Like, I think this whole banking thing's gonna really open the door for DeFi,
these markets.
Right?
Well, I think I see two things. One, for finances. I think another thing that is democracy. I'd love to see voting on the blockchain, because this whole thing about stealing votes and all this stuff, and I'm like, bro,
it's too many bureaucrats involved. But I would love to see something like that.
Let's just throw it on a blockchain, so you can't. It's immutable. Like, you can't go back and change it, and it's secure, and like, why not?
Makes sense,
right? Because the whole thing with like Dominion, and no one's going to trust these private companies. Well, because why? Well, transparency. So why not make what we have we have a solution. You know, it may not happen soon enough, but
hopefully in our lifetime.
Lifetime, yeah, something like that. Anyway,
and crypto's up, by the way. So
I saw that. Yeah, damn, should have bought in the dip.
I know, man.
Should have bought the dip.
Damn. All right, get some Doge. See you guys later.
Yeah, thanks.